All right, hey guys, and welcome to the first VOD review of the channel, K07 Live. And so I'm K07, and the goal of this VOD review is going to be to go through and, excuse me, and to review my gameplay, specifically mine. And obviously I'm the brand in this game. If you look on your screen, I'm over here. And so this is just a game in Diamond 5 Elo. And the motivation for me playing right now, so it's off season. Off season just started, which is really exciting actually for me. I think it's a really great time to try some new things, learn some new things with relatively little risk to your rank and things like that, because obviously I don't care if I end Diamond 5 at the end of the season. And so with that said, my big goal is I want to get good enough to become a Masters player. Okay. And so that means that these games I'm really just 100% focused on improving, win or lose. And so I just want to do these VOD reviews to sort of notice some of the mistakes that I'm making that I can clean up, some opportunities maybe that I'm missing that I could be a part of, or so this is everything from my laning phase to my team fighting and things like that. As well as the macro play of my team and how I can help influence that, because there's obviously opportunity for that. So things like, can I notice when I think the other team is warding? I should be able to tell some of that based on, actually, let me go ahead and turn on scoreboard real quick. I'm going to need that. So anyways, there's a whole handful of things. And so for this game, for context, the things that I was really working on were minimizing my stupid deaths, and then trading effectively in lane. And those kind of go together at some level. But so I'm really focused on landing harass when possible, and just seeding when it's too dangerous to do so. And then I also was focusing on like timing summoner spells and wards. And I don't know how good of a job I did that. I don't have the recording from my match because for some reason I wasn't recording last night when I played these games. But so that's sort of the context for this game. Okay. All right, so with that said, on the road to Masters, let's jump into this game. So as we're loading in here, a couple things I want to pay attention to. So the pre-scouting of this match reveals a couple things. One, Pantheon is a support main that has never played Pantheon jungle before. It seems like they have some jungle experience, but certainly not a significant amount. And then Kassadin is, I think they were a mid lane main. I'm not entirely sure. But they had some weird, I don't know if we can see it well, but they had some weird runes this game. You know, when you press tab in game, you can see runes. They had domination and inspiration secondary. I don't think that's very good personally, but I kind of understand where they're coming from. It's not troll or anything. And the thing that I wanted to notice about this Kassadin is that they have a 25% win rate on Kassadin. So realistically, this game was the bottom lane, so Sky Gray and myself, and then this Irelia, who is also decent on Irelia. Conversely, their jungler and mid laner were pretty good. And then I think their bottom lane was also decent, but I don't know about their Teemo. So that's just from what I remember from the pre-scouting for the game. And we'll just go ahead and jump in and see what happens here. So Jinx actually takes Doran's shield into the Xayah Rakan lane. I don't know if I agree with this, to be totally honest with you, because I understand the motivation of trying to survive a little bit and not take as basically try and stay full health when possible. Part of that definitely makes sense just because of you know, it's healthy and safe, and you don't want to get chunked out for a stupid trait. I definitely get that. I think that Xayah has to take Doran's shield here, laning against a Brand, because Brand can just land a crap ton of harass all game. Okay, so not much really happens level 1 here. Just a little bit of scouting. Presumably they warded this brush. I'm especially saying that because of the pings that we're seeing. So Rakan wards it. Now, what I kind of wish was happening here is that somebody was sitting in this brush or in this brush to see who warded it, because knowing that Rakan doesn't have a ward in lane can actually be really valuable when we think about actually trading in lane, because that affects who's going to be able to walk up and ward these lane brushes. Because as Brand, one of the things that I really like to do is like come sit in this brush or this brush and just throw W's at them from Fog of War. It's harder for them to react to it because they don't know the spacing as well from where I'm standing. But yeah. All right, so lane phase starts here, and I'm gonna hide this a little bit and let this go. Landing a couple auto attacks. I should probably be auto attacking the minions here as well to try and keep them low. We are winning the 2 race already though. because Jinx outpushes Xayah in isolation, but we don't have very much of a lead here. Now here's an interesting observation. So right away we see Graves walking through my ward. So we've actually seen him for a few seconds now, and we haven't reacted at all in lane. Rakan is just starting to react now to walk up. Now, Pantheon should just leave in this circumstance, right? Because they've got mid lane priority, so Echo can actually walk down. They've got priority not because they're like out pushing us or even that they're necessarily stronger than us, but just because we weren't in position. So like realistically, the second I saw Graves walk up here, I should have been positioning the top side of the lane to cut off their roam. So then I can walk up if Pantheon gets in a really bad spot and I can get priority. And I'm also strong enough and I have my flash that I can't actually just get all in by these guys and die. Which you'll see we actually do get something for this situation, but it's probably not the ideal way of playing it. So Pantheon has blue buff to Graves' red buff. He should just be seeding this completely, in my opinion. I think Pantheon in this situation sees Graves, knows where Graves is, should just run straight up to top side, get top side scuttle, and go to red. Instead, what he does is, I guess he like stays here. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll kind of watch it unfold. So he walks in to try and challenge the scuttle and is just pinging for help. This is his inexperience on jungle showing really quickly. So Rakan gets up there first, and we recognize that Rakan's roaming and that we can't really get in because right now, I mean, Graves and Rakan will just straight up kill us, right? I mean, Pantheon's going to die already. If we walk up, you know, we are suddenly in a 2v3 pincered with Xayah on the back end. We have to commit to something. And so I actually like this after we've already made the mistake. Pantheon flashes out. He's either out or not out. We're not going to chase flash this Graves over the wall. That would be pretty int because he can always E out after. And then we force Xayah's flash. This is actually a good flash by Xayah because my W connects there. I can 100% land the Q. I just ignite her. She dies. So Graves ends up dying. Or sorry, Graves ends up killing Pantheon, and Graves flashes out. Now, this is certainly not ideal. Now, a couple things that we know. Rakan ignite, Xayah flashed, and Graves flashed. So I timed all of those in chat once the fighting died down. Now I'm just walking up, and I don't want Rakan to get back into the lane here. Because if he gets back into the lane, he's able to get more XP. So I'm just like walking up, Wing him. He ended up missing the XP on the cannon and getting chunked really hard. So now we have a huge priority in lane, and the wave is pushing towards us. So that's pretty much ideal. That trade wasn't as good as it could have been just because of the cannon minion, but it was still a good trade because it was 2v1. And now we should think about pause and think, okay, where is their jungler? So Graves should be pathing topside right now. He's got really no gank opportunity bottom. And so this should just be straight up a 2v2. Pantheon and Graves are both actually mid lane. So we're just going back to harassing him. Now, one of the things that I didn't really talk about, and I'll take this little bit of downtime while we're just kind of trading casually in lane, is the matchup in the bottom lane, in the 2v2. So this is sort of an interesting matchup where I think Xayah Rakan wins level 1. Or at least they should if they play it properly. And then level 2, it's a little bit of a skill matchup. If they flash any of Brand's abilities, my abilities, then we lose. But if I can land my stun on someone, then we have a shot at winning, especially if Rakan misses his W. And then basically level 3 through 5, Jinx Brand is just way stronger. And then obviously level 6, Xayah Rakan just straight up wins. I missed that W. That's a little bit bad. Now I'm in a really bad spot. Oh, this is actually really, really bad. So I'm gonna go back and replay this. So we've got wave control here, and so I'm looking to land some harass. This is actually fine. I overstepped for it though when I went for the auto attack. So now Xayah can go on me. I miss my Q and I don't dodge the Rakan W. As soon as Xayah is stepping up that far, I should just know that Rakan's Wing me and just be spacing out of range, which means walking this way. So that I should never get hit by that W. If I don't get hit by that W, though, I'm still in a little bit of a scary spot, but I'm at least able to trade damage onto Xayah and save, if not save Jinx's heal, at least trade Jinx's heal. But the problem there wasn't just that I missed the sidestep, it was stepping forward for that auto. That was just an overextension. Fortunately, my AD carry's paying attention, and Rakan doesn't have Ignite. If he has Ignite there, they're probably just all-inning, and that's not just a heal trade. So that kind of sucks because now that we don't have heal, it's not quite as... We don't have quite the same lane priority, and I'm running a little bit low on mana, so I'm waiting for the pot to pick up my health, and then we kind of just get lane control again by default. So I see some stuff happening topside. We know Graves can't be here. Irelia is getting strong. We won that fight. That's really, really good. And we're just slow pushing this. We want to crash this wave and try and deny as many of these under tower as we can because we have really good wave harass. That's sort of the goal here. If we didn't know that Graves wasn't topside, this would be a little bit more scary to just slow push and look for the harass. We might just push it in and then back up and look to get some vision around Graves. But we know Graves is mid. We're in no danger here. No one has, Teemo has TT, but like, what is he gonna do? So landing some really good harass under tower. Xayah's missing some farm. I land the stun there, and this is almost a kill. I actually wonder if there's a way we could have killed here. This was really good that I landed this though. So she's greeting for cannon basically. Land the W. It's like, okay, good. Then now she's greeting for a Kasha mini. She walks up and I actually think Jinx should have gotten one more auto there. Was I tanking tower? Did I take a tower shot there? I probably did, right? There's the W. Here's the Q. Now I have to walk into tower range, I think. Yeah. So I'm taking a tower shot. So right now he sidesteps the W. I think he should just be in mini form and get 2 auto attacks and then Q when he walks out. And then he can tank the tower shots to get lower. It's a little bit scary because we don't have heal, but I actually think that should have been a kill if we played that properly. Either way, we got her heal, shoved him out of lane, so he's going to miss a whole nother wave of CS. He obviously can't stay anymore. So I think I've already procced my spell thieves. It's not tremendously useful for me to be autoing this tower, but it's damage. Presumably Graves is going to show up bottom at this time. I haven't seen him in a minute. I didn't see where he left mid lane, but I would not be surprised if he comes to try and catch him. So just last hitting. Now we're obviously looking for a base here. That's really good base timing. Okay, so Graves didn't show bot to catch that wave, so presumably he's topside somewhere. I'm just watching the map as we go back to lane. Yeah, so he just showed mid as we get back into lane here. And he actually kills our mid laner, so this really sucks. So now Graves is 3-0, and he has, when he bases now, he'll have his warrior already, which is like insanely far ahead of Pantheon. I don't know how much gold he has, if I'm able to toggle that. I know I used to be able to toggle to see gold, but I don't know if I can do that anymore. So anyways, Pantheon is like 25 CS down, down 2 kills, and he's like absolutely going to get smashed anytime he sees Graves. Graves can 1v1 him even without ulti. He's up 2 levels on our Pantheon, and so we just got to be really mindful of that. Pantheon's really down in XP and really down in gold. And so anyways, what we know here is basically that we're safe because Graves is mid lane. Now, I didn't know he had no ulti because I wasn't watching that, but probably what I should have done here when I walked back into lane is just walk down and ward either like Dragon or behind here before I get back into lane, because right now we're going to be totally blind on this part of the map, and Graves is going to be going to get his red buff. So Graves is going to be bottom side, and we won't have any vision. He could easily, especially with this wave where it's at. Now, we are stronger than their bottom lane right now. And we don't know where Rakan is, so presumably Rakan is roaming. I would expect, like, a very realistic play for them would be to just have Graves grab red buff, walk into our jungle, and then either take blue or dive bottom with Xayah Rakan 6. Which is actually a minute out, because Rakan's really behind in XP for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. I guess he's been trying to roam a little bit. I was a little bit late on that last hit, small thing. And so now, this is where we're talking about, like, where does Graves Rakan show up? Presumably Rakan's roaming. Maybe they're doing Infernal Drake together right now. And we can just kind of check and see. Irelia solo kills Teemo. That's really good. And now we need to be really careful. So I'm just trying to bait a Rakan W or something before I walk into that bush. So this is, you can kind of see my thought process here. So I'm like, I see Xayah alone in lane. I know that Rakan's missing. I know we're totally dark in this part of the map because I didn't walk there to ward on my way back to lane. And Pantheon shouldn't be entering his blue side jungle here. This is actually just suicide. Because they could easily be in this bush. They could easily be here. They could easily be on Infernal. Either of those would be bad for us, but wouldn't kill Pantheon. I actually really like this play by them to just say, look, Pantheon's really weak. Graves really far ahead. Let's invade. He'll come to clear his blue side because he's tilted, and then he'll just die, right? And you'll kill him. Then you can pressure for a dive or Infernal or whatever you want. So, and this is exactly what they do. So I'm actually posturing here to say, okay, get some information, see where they are, trying to bait. And then they just blast cone over, they kill Pantheon, and there's nothing you can do about that. So I'm able to kill the pink ward as a small consolation prize, and Skygray is able to walk up and get an auto. And we can basically play up for like 2 more seconds, and then they're going to show bottom. But we know Rakan's not 6, so we're not really in that much kill threat. But he does have a pink ward, so we can just re-pink that, and we're back blind on this part. So the biggest mistake right now, honestly, is that I'm not controlling this area. Because what this does is, and Pantheon should technically be helping, but he's in much less of a position to be able to do it because he's really weak. Is I should be like getting vision wards on Dragon. Obviously, I can't ward this because Rakan keeps pinking it, which is a good pink by him, to be honest. Although they don't really have lane pressure right now, so we should be able to clear that fairly regularly. We should just be shoving and trying to clear pink and then keep vision control of this river. So I should be buying a pink, maybe placing it up here, maybe a ward on Dragon, something like that. Maybe just a deep ward if Graves shows top. And just getting some information around where Graves is so that Pantheon doesn't keep dying for free. That is actually the thing that I need to do. So when I walk back into lane a few seconds ago, I needed to go to river and just ward it up. This is pretty dangerous by Kassadin. You know, we knew Graves was there, actually. The fact that he greeted for that kill, I think, is really bad. It really sucks that he didn't get it as well. I don't remember if I was pinging that at the time. If I wasn't, I should have been. And Graves is still bottom side. They have, they can just freeze this lane, and there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know if there's a way we could have prevented this. I think the wave actually crashed, and we're still pushing back into them. I'm gonna back up and see real quick, and then I'll catch them. Yeah, so it crashed, and we're looking at the wave. And this is actually a really good freeze by Xayah, to be honest with you, because she knows that she's got jungle pressure bottom. She wants us to overextend. So the wave is slow pushing towards them. This is actually just the worst possible wave positioning for us, because we can't walk up and fight to unfreeze this, because Graves is going to be and Rakan's going to be hitting 6 in the next minute or so. So now I did actually eventually go up and ward outside this to see if they're pathing to Dragon. This ward should have happened a lot sooner, for sure, especially with the pinks here. Now, one thing that's worth noting is basically the entire first 8 minutes of this game, Jinx has been having some issues with graphic bugs, and I don't really know what the problem is, but I know that it's significant. And so right here, I know that they're freezing bottom, and my Jinx was DC'd anyways. I see that Graves just did Dragon, so he's mid-side, and so I'm actually, this face check is really risky. You can kind of see the way that I'm playing this to see if it's warded, and I'm just trying to get vision to see if they're ganking mid. They ended up ganking mid, and I was just out of position. I think what I should have done is assumed he was ganking mid and walked behind the tower. And we got Graves flash because I was there. That's not too bad. And I think this becomes a huge fiesta because Pantheon ults in. And frankly, I was a really bad ult. He wasn't back far enough to even chance getting anything. But we've got complete mid control here. Echo greets for this kill. I don't know why he's going in there. I missed my stun because of this move. I definitely misplayed this. And I greeted for that kill, and I ended up dying to it. I actually... So I'm going to rewatch this, and I'll kind of walk through how I misplayed this. Kassadin's walking up here, Echo's inting, ends up getting a kill for it, which sucks. So, real quickly, what I can assume in this situation is that Graves and Rakan are in this area. And I can assume that, and maybe even Xayah as well, actually. I can assume that there's reasonably 3 people here, because Irelia is up here, which means that they're not in this area, and nobody's shown in the bottom lane, and we knew that Graves is already in the area. So, right here, I get a good E position, and right here, I just need to walk forward and guarantee that I hit this stun. I have so much time to hit this, and Rakan just showed, and so I just need to make sure that I hit this stun. And not even because, like, if he ults it and he ults early, fine, right? But what I need to do is at least make him use something to dodge it. Because right now, if I hit that stun, I hit my W. This guy's, like, after ulting, just down, he's chunked so hard, right? He probably has to ult to dodge my passive damage. And then this fight looks a little bit different. Rakan would still come in, and these guys would probably still die. But then I'm going to be in a much better spot to use my damage on Rakan there instead of using it on Echo. Now I get all my damage off. And I probably couldn't have gotten Rakan. I might have been able to get Rakan with that extra auto or two. But the real problem here is that I greeted for the kill with the auto. And in this situation, I just can't do that. Because Graves is 5-0 and has his warrior already. I should just flash right there. I need to flash before the second part of that Q goes off or I'm dead on him. I didn't realize Rakan ignited me in the moment, I think, but that's bad. Anyways, this ends up still being worth it because Irelia gets 2 shutdown kills, and now it's basically her versus Graves in this matchup. And then both bottom lanes are useful. Obviously, Jinx is a little bit ahead of Xayah, but it's pretty marginal. Actually, it's assuming Xayah last hits this properly, they're dead even. Okay, so right now, if I look at the map, again, here's another opportunity where I actually don't have any wards here, but I do have a control ward. What I should do, because obviously mid lane is a problem and there's a lot of focus here, is I should probably just use this control ward to pink here, unless Pantheon's actually going to play for bottom turret. The problem is, even though Rakan ulti we know is on cooldown and he has no ignite, if Graves comes, we still just automatically die. And so we have to play really safe. I want to make a play for this tower, but if we do, we basically give up mid. Because if Kassadin comes down, actually a decent play would be to get Pantheon to show mid and just shove mid wave, and then let Kassadin TP bottom for the play and then roam back up. I'm not sure how realistic that is. Irelia also has TP. So I really want to get this bottom tower because our high pressure laning this game has really chunked it really hard. But again, we can't walk up right here because at the time we didn't know where Rakan was. He's back in lane now. We don't know where Graves is. Presumably, he should actually be top side, I would think. But he's bottom for sure. I can tell because Rakan's going on me here. By the way, if you guys don't know how the Rakan W works, if you're watching this, it is interruptible, but you have to interrupt it before he gets to the center of his like thing. So right there, I hit the stun before he gets to the center, and so his W cancels. He still travels though, it's really annoying. And then Graves is here. Okay, so Graves is bottom right now because our top side of the map is what's really strong. And so he wants to abuse bot and mid, and I actually think this is good by him. The other thing is that he probably sees this tower is low and that this is the right play. So he shows bottom, and now there's a 2v2 going on mid lane between mid and top, and our top's rotating down. Top's actually a little bit late to this play, but he denies a lot of CS, so I understand why. Pantheon's over chasing for the Rakan. That's actually pretty int. He probably just dies here. Okay, he doesn't die. That's very fortunate. They get Scuttle, and I'm mid now because there's a fight coming, and we have Irelia mid. So this is another good reason to be mid, is just because Irelia is here. I don't have any wards up because... Was this my ward? Wait. If this was my ward, this was a bad ward. Okay, this isn't my ward. This is a better ward right now, because we're going to be pushing up here, and if they're more likely to come from this way based on the pathing we saw from the river. Kassadin has the base, but he has TP, so we're making a play for mid tower. Graves is mid. I missed my W. That's fine. Oh my gosh, that damage from Graves is insane. Gets the pink. That's really good. Okay, and we're just gonna reset here, go back bottom, get all that farm. I think we actually missed some because we were too late on the recall, which sucks. We weren't able to get the tower. Oh, okay, and so here I actually rotated mid because Jinx is just catching bot lane. So I see mid fighting, and then and I'm sort of predicting the mid pressure again, and it ends up working out that I'm there in time and I'm able to get an ER off, which kills Echo. And Kassadin lives. I get some farm here. I think he's going to TP back. I don't know if I like this TP, to be honest. So What he's thinking is he wants to TP and get all this CS right here and XP and start shoving in to get the mid pressure and probably roam bottom. It kind of sucks because I started pushing the wave, and so I just took all of these minions from him. Jinx has to be really careful right now because, again, we don't know where Graves is or Rakan. Rakan doesn't have ulti, Cassidy or no, Irelia TP's bottom, this is 3 kills. I'm here for Rakan. That is just going to Jinx, this is really good, and now we get first tower bottom for sure. So this is actually a really good play by our team. Graves didn't read it, he wasn't there, so there's no counterplay for them. And in this situation, Cassidy and Irelia both go mid. We're going to get bot tower, and Pantheon starts getting jungle here, because we're not going to be able to take this with Echo and Graves mid lane. They have way too much wave pool. And Jinx Brand are bottom, so there's no chance. So Irelia's like, okay, I'm going to go get my CS top, maybe kill Teemo. Misses her stun. Hits ulti, can definitely kill Teemo. Get some extra gold on the map. And this is where the Jinx actually fixes the graphics bug. She actually had to reconnect completely by just exiting out of her computer, just restarting. Cassidy is playing 1v1ing Echo. So he actually played this pretty well, to be honest. The flash auto to get the ulti. But this guy just lives. Because he doesn't, I guess he doesn't have enough mana for another ulti or something. I'm not sure why. We already lost bot tower, so I'm just getting Stelos so that we can get dragon control. And it is an ocean drake, so it's certainly not ideal for us. So Xayah Rakan are pushing bottom. Jinx ideally would be here and catch this wave and then be rotating mid. Okay, it's Graves mid lane. Xayah Rakan are rotating up, but we haven't seen them yet. Now I've got a couple options. I can either go bottom to catch that wave, which I think is a bad option because Cassidy should be going there. Even though he doesn't have TP, we really want him to be getting solo XP. I can run top lane, there's not really a play there, or I can stay mid. So I'm actually just going to Shadow Graves here. And then Echo goes on me, so I turn around. And we might be able to get a pick. No, he didn't overcommit. So we know Graves is there. Pantheon is pretty risky. So there's a lot going on in this fight already. Rakan ults Irelia, my ulti's bouncing, does a bunch of damage. Rakan and Graves. And they both live with 1 HP. And I'm zoned off the side, and we ended up getting a kill on Echo. Now does Cassidy die for that guy? Cassidy just straight up dies to Xayah. Oh no. This was so bad. And of course I didn't die for this, and that was really bad. Okay, so a couple things here. If I go back to the start of the fight. So I'm gonna play this in sort of slow motion. So I try to W Graves, I miss, and I miss my stun on Echo again. I need to hit that stun every time. The guy is literally CC'd. On me. I'm trying to hit the stun, but I rarely hit hers. So I can literally just wait. Again, this is me trying to do my stun way too fast. I should be hitting this on Echo every time. If I hit that, I don't have W up. But this guy basically just auto dies. Because he doesn't have ulti. So that should have been a free kill. And honestly, I should probably just hit that stun and ignite. Because then here, Rakan doesn't have to heal Irelia. Irelia can go right on those guys, and then I can ulti. And then all of this damage that I'm getting off here, I'm also not zoned at that point, because then I can walk up and auto. So that should have been just straight up a 3-for-0 if I played that properly. And then my team inting afterwards doesn't happen. So a big thing there is make sure I hit the stun that matters, ignite the Echo, guarantee the first kill, because he's what's able to zone me off on this side of the fight. After I missed that, I think I actually played the fight fine. It was really risky. I might have been able to walk up this way instead of down to dodge the Echo. Nope, I would have just died. So yeah, I actually played that well. Echo played that well. Big thing is I need to play this part of the fight initially a lot better. Everything after this just really sucks. This is the turning point in the game because they won this fight. Now Xayah's strong, and they got the shutdown gold onto Irelia. This really sucks. I'm able to soak mid wave. Jinx should be mid right now. Actually, Jinx should probably have already been mid, to be honest with you.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Because Caston stabbed that. He realizes it, but maybe a little bit too late. They do the Rift Herald to try and make a play on Irelia, and Graves wins that 1v1. Now that is bad. But we should be able to get mid tower here. This should be free. So we get the tower, that's okay. Now, I'm in top side trying to get some vision because I don't want them to just invade and play the rotation game between mid and top. And there's big top wave. So I'm able to get the top wave. Jinx finishes it. So we didn't waste all the gold there. And we can rotate back. I really can go top or mid. Mid. The top's going to slow push out towards them very slowly. And I guess we're looking for an engage. So Pantheon just gets destroyed. And that was the Rakan ulti. Okay, so Pantheon is looking for an engage here. He has ult up. Why doesn't he just ulti on... Okay, doesn't matter. So he should ulti probably on mid, just instead of walking in. Instead what happens is he walks in and just gets zoned by the Rakan and Graves. Graves doesn't have to blow anything on this. Rakan uses ulti. Because Rakan used ulti, their team fight's a lot weaker. And Echo has no ulti, so they're a lot weaker. And Graves has no flash, and we should know that from the previous fight. Oh, he had ulti. And used it. And now at this point, we're just outnumbered. So we just walk out and try and live. And is Irelia going to try and fight this? I'm trying to land some harass. And now it's 4v4. The problem is our positioning for this fight is garbage. Right? Because Jinx is all the way back here because he already gave up completely on this. I'm trying to stay nearby Irelia because whatever she does, I have to also commit to. And I think that's true for everyone because she's like, she is our team right now. So we just need to back her up and support her. Xayah has positioning on Irelia, so Irelia is more or less in a 1v2. Rakan can always just E out of the, just really easily E out of the Irelia ulti, so this ulti is useless. And then Grace can 1v1 Cassidon, which is obviously Grace is chunking that, Irelia is going in and does a lot of damage. And now at this point, it's really scared for me to walk up. So I'm just trying to zone to keep Irelia alive, and this is greedy by me. So I step forward to try and E in time my passive. I just die. In my head, I'm like, okay, I can ulti. This will bounce either between these two or these two. It'll set up a reset for Irelia on her Q when they're low. It's just bad because Xayah still is ult. And I knew that. I remember thinking that right away. And then I think Irelia ends up dying off of this play as well. So at this point, the game is honestly pretty much over. It's still winnable, but it's really, really hard. If I hadn't walked up there, it's very plausible that Irelia and I both survived because she backstepped to try and see if what I did was going to work. They rift over the walls. They're going to get this tier 2 for sure. Now at this point we have a couple options. We can either all in on this mid play and let Teemo do whatever. We should all in on this. It's 4v4. We get the wave clear. I land my E. I'm really looking to try and land that stun. That really sucks that it missed. So let me see how much time I have on my passive there. It was this guy, I believe. So I W the wave, I E it out to get the proc, and that was really good. I did not have any more time. Okay, so I played that fine. I didn't have an opportunity there unless I walked forward. Get the free kill on Teemo. Goes to me. I think that's better than going to Pantheon for sure. Would have been ideal on Cassidon. And so I'm just face checking this with W because it's a little bit scary. Don't hit anything. I know because I have Spell Thieves. And so right now, Dragon is up. We can certainly try and do Drake, although it's not really that worth it, all things considered. But we managed to get Drake. We should be... Now we have an option here to either get out or go in. Irelia says let's go in because they don't super rage. So she tries to keep a minute on Rakan, or Echo, sorry. And Echo flashes DR. At this point we should leave. Because right here, the odds that Xayah and Graves are in that Fog of War is so close to 100%. I mean, they are almost certainly either here or like here or something like that. And we're chasing in, and yes, I have ulti, yes, I have ignite, but like Jinx has no sums, Irelia has no sums, and no ulti now. So we get the Q. This is actually good. I was a little bit scared. We actually did manage to just leave. That was good. Big top wave. That should go to Irelia. Teemo's shoving bottom. So that means that Cassin should have a big wave in a minute or so. Then Cassin goes gets that. We go get mid. I try and freeze mid for my AD carry. And then Pantheon takes a bunch of CS for no reason. Now I understand where he's coming from here, because he's actually really weak. Like, look at his items. He has 100 farm at 21 minutes, and he doesn't even have an item done other than a warrior. So he's unbelievably weak right now. To that end, he's useless in this game, because what he should be doing is literally just ulting in and inting to start fights. That's his role right now. His role is to try and set up my ulti and to set up Irelia. Now we're worried about them being on Baron. I think this is a very valid worry. I'm really worried here. I see the Rakan, and so I'm thinking, okay, there's one of two things going on. Either they're on Baron and he's just trying to zone with his ulti, or they're not on Baron and they're baiting. And it's really risky for me to find out. Now, what I should think here, Pantheon has ult coming up soon, so if I get vision on Baron and they're on it, he can ulti and try and steal. He's not going to get the steal, is the thing. Two reasons. One, he's a support main. Two, because he's 3 levels down on Graves, and he would have to time it perfectly. And so and there's a well, no, he can smite through the Rakan charm. So it's really risky. I'm sweeping to try and get vision here, and I walk up, and I think Graves comes into the bush here. That was just really bad by me. Like, I have to flash here. I should not need to flash there. What I should do is I should see the ward. I should see Xayah showing in the mid lane and know that they're not doing Baron. So now I don't need to ward it, right? What I need to do is I need to back up, give that, wait for my team to support me, and then I can walk in through the top side. I was a little bit willing to do that just because, and I see that, so they're obviously still looking for a pick. I can't really walk in. Now this ward actually sets up a decent fight in a minute, I think. I don't remember if we win or lose it, but I think it is a good fight. But I really needed flash for this fight, so I should never need to flash there. I think what was going on in my head, honestly, was I have flash, so even if I get caught, I'm going to live. But really what I should be thinking is I need to save my flash because I need it to guarantee we can win a team fight. Especially since I'm not building Zonias this game. Like, I can't just go really ham unless I have flash to flash out or flash a skill shot or something. Okay, so here, this has to be a good fight. We have Irelia behind me, Jinx cast it in here, Pantheon ulting into the fight, and I can set up to land my damage on Xayah. So I guarantee Xayah dies, and I died for this as well. Did I go too early? This is still a really good fight. Irelia went to chase the Teemo off. I don't know if that was good. Graves had stopwatch, so cast flashing over with int. Also, Rakan still at ulti. This was int flash done. There's no way you have enough damage to kill that guy. So we end up going 2 for 2. That sucks. So ideally in this fight, if I go back, if I have flash here, I played this fight well, but because I don't, I played it badly. I could have gotten a lot more damage off and lived. So let's just go back over it. So I'm walking in here. What I should do is wait for the Panthar and then let Irelia go in. So I'm walking down to dodge what I'm predicting to be the Echo stun. And it works, but obviously they just one-shot me. I just died. If I have flash, what I can do is I can just ulti and just flash out, and I probably survive. Actually, I probably flash into this bush. But since I don't have ulti, like, instead I just die. And it's nice that they use their damage on me, but, like, Irelia gets stunned. So Echo just ults out. This, honestly... I trade myself here for Echo and Xayah. That's nominally worth it, but we don't really have any CC for Graves. I guess we do. We have Irelia stun and Pant stun. I think that was okay, but it could have been better. I should have waited for Panthar. I see the Panthar come down, and then Irelia should just walk in and ulti. That should be the way that we start that fight, because that's going to be easier for her to get her damage off. Obviously, she hasn't used her ult yet because she didn't end up needing it. But if she could ulti, we might have been able to just combo on the Graves, and then I would have been able to walk in after. Especially if I had flash, I could have flashed on him. Okay, so this is okay. Vanda's dying mid. I'm not sure why they died there, to be honest. Like, we know Rakan's there. Is this just all from clearing the pink ward? It might be, I'm not sure. Now they're going for Baron. In this situation... Whoops, I pressed the wrong button, sorry. In this situation, there's really no point in me walking in. Like, look, I don't have ulti to try and steal, so it's just like a miracle W. We do have Cass Irelia TP. They're full HP. Irelia actually still has ulti, so we can actually maybe stop this. Yeah. And we get the pick. Irelia misses her ulti again. And this is just an overchase. Here, I miss my stun, and so I'm gonna die for that. But we would have lost that anyways. I might have still died anyways. Just an overchase into the jungle. We should have taken the, okay, we prevented Baron, get the vision control, make sure that they can't do it, and then go from there. Now at this point, you know, they can go for a steal, but it's realistically Baron's gone, probably. Oh, so the blue team's actually too scared here to go to Baron. Irelia has TP. We see them basically getting ready to start Baron. They have vision control. I think somebody's here. I don't remember why I thought that. Oh, I saw the Rakan W over the wall. So I'm thinking that Graves is probably there also, setting up a pick. Turns out he is. He was killing red buff. Irelia's getting bot lane pressure since she's TP. This is good. I can't walk into ward Baron right now. So I'm just looking to see if Xayah does something stupid. Instead, Pantheon does something stupid. And I'm not even in range to ulti that. I can't do anything. Even if I do ult, it's honestly a waste of the ult because we can't win that fight. So now we're down a jungler. Our play here is for casting and try and chunk Teemo out, and then we 5v5 on the Baron. I'm assuming that they're on this right now. And so I'm just getting the vision. Irelia gets the TP down. Now in this situation, so what I was thinking in my head was, okay, I want to ward, and then I want to use my ulti to get it bouncing around in the pit, and then walk around. Which I think would be fine, but the problem was I tried to do a full combo, and I didn't have to. So instead I get my ulti off really late, and that's bad. So I'm wondering if I actually have an opportunity to ult here. You can see I W'd when I had vision. I should have R'd right away, and then like W'd. And then when I really got in, I could do something. Yeah, I should have just R'd right away there. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but I still should. Now I'm running for my life. I end up getting out by walking a weird way. And they're obviously chasing our priority targets. So Jinx dies. I'm not going to be able to save him even if I run the other way, so that's totally fine. And at this point, they probably just run it down mid. I'm able to win a little bit of harass here, but obviously it doesn't amount to much. Because without Irelia, we can't fight anything. Here we're just looking for a TP pick. We end up getting a decent fight. I get the kill. I had to ulti unfortunately for it, but Jinx shouldn't have died here. Walked onto the Echo ult. That was kind of bad. That was nominally good for us, although it really should have been better. And now we're just going to get choked out of the game. Graves is able to 1v3 us, which is a shame. At this point, I mean, he's just so freaking strong. Kill Timo, Graves on bottom, kills Captain. Rakan just ultis in, Graves kills me in 2 auto attacks. I get my damage off, but like, it doesn't do anything to him anymore. Because he's level 18 and I'm level like 12 or something. And now they end the game. So, overall, I mean, this game is a little bit unfortunate at some level. Obviously, it's like, alright, jungle and mid lane difference was really, really big. Their Echo wasn't very strong either, but our Cassidy was worthless the entire game. And then Pantheon was worthless the entire game. But I think the thing to realize this game is that if we go back to the mid team fight that was right here where Echo was here and I could have hit the stun, if I hit that and I play that fight properly, we win that fight 3-0. We probably get mid tower, probably 2 towers, and Graves snowball stops right there. And then my snowball begins, right? Because then I get really, really fed. That fight, now the other thing is during that fight, Jinx was also DC'd. So we couldn't get a Jinx ulti in to clean anything up. We couldn't get Jinx to be there, or even just to be bottom lane, so we didn't lose as much damage here. And so that was just overall unfortunate, I think. Jinx might have been in this fight if they were in the game at the time. I'm not sure, and I'd have to go back and actually look at that, but I don't really think it's worth it. If that's the case, then like unlucky. If not, either way, we should still win that 3v3 skirmish if I play it right. And so that really sucks. So that was a big turning point. The other big thing is like, especially when their jungle's strong, I need to do a much better job when I'm behind in pressure on the bottom side of trying to get vision control of this area of the map. That's something that I'm definitely very bad at when I'm playing from behind. When I'm ahead, like I can control all of this really comfortably. But when I'm behind, I don't really do a good job of like leaving lane to go get vision in the river, or even just deep wards when their jungle shows top, or anything that would really help prevent the snowball from Graves to just constantly kill my jungler and my mid laner. I did start rotating to the mid pressure really, really well. I think that was a big plus, but like I needed to have this vision a lot earlier than I did to try and prevent the Infernal Drake, to try and prevent the Graves invading our Pantheon. And plays like that. And also just to prevent tower dives bottom. Like, they could have easily just dove us bottom, and they elected not to, right? Which obviously worked out for them. So those were the big things that game. Couple relatively small mistakes. Couple misplays on the team fights. Obviously, there was this one. There was one other, I already forgot which one it was, and then there was this one here, which this one probably didn't matter. Oh yeah, this team fight and then this team fight are the ones that really lost us the game. And then when I died at this play, that wasn't ideal, but it was okay. So, yeah, I think just like play around Irelia more, get the vision in this part to try and prevent the Graves from just killing my Pantheon over and over and over again. Try and prevent this Graves snowball, because that's something I could have actually prevented this game for sure. And then level 2, the other big thing is like, even if you don't win the level 2, at least try and have enough zone control that you can prevent them from following up on my jungler. Right, because even if we don't win this 3v3, we should at least be in a position where Graves or where Pantheon doesn't die, right? Like, he shouldn't have to die for this crab early on in the game, like right here, right? Like, this should never happen. And I say that because like right now, what I should be doing is I should be on this top side, preventing the Rakan roam up, and I should just spam back ping my Pantheon. Be like, look, you don't win that. He is red, you have blue, you lose. Period. I know you're Pantheon, you win duels early, but like you are just weaker. And so that's something I should have done. And more to the point, we are weaker 3v3. Made up for it okay, but like, look, Rakan shouldn't be able to be here right now. That was a good dodge, but like the Ignite is what allows Graves to flash over and get these autos for the kill. Without Ignite, Pantheon wouldn't have died. So that's absolutely my fault. Absolutely my fault. And then that starts the Graves snowball, right? So then... so it's my bad here, and then it's also my bad that I didn't get the vision control around this side when Graves was playing bottom the whole game, which he should be, right? And then also another opportunity that we could have done is instead of continuously rotating to try and pressure mid, is literally just like follow Irelia. Like walk up, get control of this side of the map, let them play bottom, play for Rift Scuttler, and then play for like top and mid turrets and just try and snowball really hard around Irelia because she's winning. So that was the other option that would have been good. So I think if a couple of those adjustments, if I pick up on a couple of those things, make sure to land my stun when it should be free, or at least force something out of it. I think that those are the big wins, and then this game is winnable. Cool. All right, this was a really good game. I think overall, some okay play. Definitely had some good map positionings overall, but a couple mistakes that really they were able to punish really well. So, all right, that is the first review of the Road to Masters, as it were, and thanks for watching. If you guys notice anything when you're watching this video, please leave a comment in the description because, like I said, I'm all about trying to learn and improve right now, and I'm, eventually I want to get Masters next season, and so this is a good opportunity. So, all right, thanks guys, and see you later.